All right, cool. What are you doing this time?
Gary, look at this box I found on the ground.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I found a box inside just on my way here. Yeah, it's not very heavy. It's got air holes in the side of it, though. So, wait a minute. Like, I'm kind of afraid there's something living in there.
Like a mogwai?
Maybe, possibly. Maybe it's it's, one of those alive hands that exists, like Cousin the Thing, Cousin It the Thing,
Cousin the Thing.
Yeah, Cousin the Thing. Wait, I can hear something.
Okay,
Gary, is that a very high pitched and quiet? I think that song is wait. That's what's that one Smith song? Wait a minute. Yeah, no, it's the whole "There's a Light" thing. Yeah,
there's a light that never goes out.
Yeah, I think that's the name of that song. I'm not a big Smiths. Let me open this up. Gary, look, it's a tiny little version of the Smiths.
Oh, Baby Smiths, and there's Baby Morrissey saying slurs. Baby slurs.
Yeah, we got some.
Baby Morrissey doesn't like baby Muslims. Aw.
No, it's we got some Microsmiths here.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. We don't mind the Microsmiths.
That's a game developer. They made Drac's Night Out. They made Drac's Night Out. Yeah.
Yeah. Why isn't this game more cool? It's the best title. Like the title to coolness ratio in this is fucking absurd.
Yeah.
My name is Gary Butterfield.
My name is Cole Ross.
Welcome to Abject Suffering, the show where we drink and rate every niche 90s soft drink, even if they're expired. This week, Fruitopia.
Welcome to the show where we make ourselves sick on purpose.
Very sick. A clever portmanteau between fruit and utopia. This drink could bring us into a new age.
Yeah, this week is Cole Pick. We're talking about Drac's Night Out, an unreleased NES game that has been on like the suggestion list, I think, since the first day we did this show. Since we first,
beautiful title.
It is a wonderful title, and the more you learn about it, okay, so Drac's Night Out, wonderful title. Finding out that it was an advert game for Reebok's pump shoes.
Pretty surprising.
That elevates it, I would say, even a little bit more. And then you play the game, and it's kind of crazy castles, and that's it.
It's one of the most documented unreleaced games.
Yeah.
I'll get this disclaimer out of the way. I'm in my new house.
Yes.
So that's why I sound like I'm in Dracula's tomb.
Drac's Night In.
Drac's Night In. It's me. This has a game fact somebody wrote in 2005. For a game that never came out.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. But you expect Dracula, like when I think Drac's Night Out, I think like Dracula getting up to trouble.
Yeah.
And cruising for puss.
Yeah.
Like Drac collecting Mina Harkers.
Yeah. Well, that's what he's trying to do in this game. He's trying to get to Mina.
Yeah, but it does it by walking downstairs and suggesting things to Frankenstein's. Like it doesn't feel like, I don't know. I want the nightclub simulator.
Yeah.
Of him. Not like a dating sim, but like a management. You have to manage his Draco moods. He's drinking blood. Some of the blood has alcohol in it, and you have to make sure he doesn't get too drunk.
Yeah. The Sims late Drac's Night Out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yes.
The shoes, I don't know why.
It literally doesn't add up. I have to imagine, though, this game was set to be released in 1991. This is kind of a cocaine idea.
It's the Reebok pump. There was the Nike pump kind of thing, right? Like there's multiple pump shoes. One of them had basketball players.
Yeah.
As the mascot. And this one, they decided to go with Dracula. Which is very different.
You know what? Known for his ups.
Yeah. His footwear.
Uh-huh.
His Sartorian choices there. Especially on the cover of this fucking actionable grandpa from the Addams Family.
Yep. Dracula. Or no, from the Munsters.
For the Munsters, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just grandpa.
It's just grandpa. Yeah. No idea. So the pump shoes, which if you didn't live through that, they were the hotness everybody had to have. I never knew what they did, just that they were shoes you could do something to. And
I know. You never had pumps?
No, I had pumps, and I never really felt I never felt what difference the pumping was accomplishing when I wore them. So they might have been fake off-brand pumps, but the idea was there is a basketball shaped thing on the tongue of the shoe that is an air pump that will pump air into pockets all around your ankle.
Yes. So it makes it a little tighter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can get mad ups.
Yes.
There. And as a kid, the primary function of the pump shoe, which I would point out how ludicrous it is that both of us owned pump shoes. I don't think there were two boys that had less ups.
I have
in this or
ups.
Any generation. Yeah. No ups. Remember when you wanted to triple your jumping distance in that episode of Real Towers or what have you?
It was before that was I think that was Quackstack just very recently. And to be fair to myself, I didn't know exactly what that spell did.
Yes. But just saying tripling, 0 or tripling -1 is not going to help. But as a kid, so it's silly for us to have these, but it gave you something to do that kind of felt like cool business. Yeah. Hey, we're going to go walk down to the next period. Do you want to come? Yeah. Hold up a sec. And then you can lean over and pump.
Uh-huh.
It's basically as cool as a kid could be, which is not cool at all. But as a kid, I remember feeling pretty cool to pump up and get prepared for the walk.
Just a little bit of business to do, to say no, guys, it's time to get really serious.
Yeah. Okay. Let me prepare. Let me take my Witcher elixir. It's basically what we had instead of smoking.
You know what? I am heading from recess to lunch. But I need to stop here. I know that the school is burning down. I need to make sure that my shoes are as tight as possible before I run for it. Yeah.
It's very funny. I wonder if when these things were popular, that ever was said in court. If anybody ever delayed doing something because they had to pump and it had disastrous consequences or criminal consequences.
Yeah.
Like the pumping Samaritan law.
Yeah, maybe. And just no, I couldn't do it because my shoes were flaccid.
Yeah, my shoes are limp dick.
Yeah.
You have to have an erect Reebok.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But when Drac in this, and literally the goal for the first 2/3 of the game is to go down a bunch of flights of stairs and avoid angry villagers. When you get Reebok pumps as a power up, you can jump over the villagers, and that's it.
Yes,
and do flips.
You pump them.
Yeah.
Dracula. This is one of the most anemic, worthless Dracs ever seen. One villager touches this Drac and he goes to sleep and dies. And he has to you can hypnotize villagers, but mostly you're using little traps, pulling levers and stuff that unleash Frankensteins and ghosts and things on villagers, which is kind of a cool idea, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it's not done very well.
It's not Dracula-esque. Right?
It's very not Dracula. I'm not saying Dracula has no traps in his mansion. Of course.
He's not actively managing them. He's got Renfields for that.
Yeah, anyone should be doing this instead of Dracula.
Yeah.
This is a very hands-on Dracula.
Yeah, Dracula has puss to slay.
He's got to go suck. Yeah. He's not gonna go do this. And him caring about the shoes.
Yeah.
He's still wearing the Dracula suit.
Uh-huh.
It's not it's not a yassified modern Dracula.
No, not at all.
It's just a regular Dracula in tennis shoes.
Mm-hmm.
It's real weird.
One of the stranger products, I think. I think the idea of making a Noid video game makes way more sense than this.
Yeah, and it was made by Capcom. This is made by the Microsmiths, and published by Parker Brothers, so it's good.
and not published. Do we know?
Exactly.
Do we know why it was never put out?
I don't think so.
Was it just because somebody stepped back and realized what they'd done?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
This isn't very Draculated.
I want to go back to the appeal of the pump shoes because that's ultimately what I was getting at with this. Like the game itself sucks. We've talked about it enough. But like the idea that here is a special kind of shoe that is supposed to give you abilities is one of the most video game power-up things that there is.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And translate into fun kid stuff. Like when we talked about being a kid and creating a utility belt.
Yeah.
You know, having shoes that would have a power. It's Simpsons with the ultimate belt.
Yeah.
When Bart gets the ultimate belt, like that's extremely kid coded.
Yes.
As a thing. So like having shoes I could then pump up for a superpower. I imagine if I had grown up in a time with Heelys or light up shoes, I would have felt the same.
See, I was right on the cusp between Heelys and light up shoes.
The lost generation.
So I got both. Yeah. I'm an in-betweener. Yeah, no, yeah. I got Reeboks. I got the Reebok pumps. And then I think maybe my next set of shoes was the light up shoes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Heelys?
No, I had, by the time Heelys came out, that was a like early mid 2000s thing. By the time Heelys were there, Heelys were kind of like the follow up. That's what kids had after Razor scooters.
Yes.
Yeah. So I had a Razor scooter, but I never had Heelys. Heelys seemed like they would have been fun.
I think they would have killed me dead.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But they did look fun. There's also those moon shoes. Those kind of predated the pumps.
Moon bounce shoes.
Yeah, moon bounce shoes. There are a lot of cool kid techs for shoes.
There's so much novelty shoe.
Now that my feet are size 13 wide toe box, there's no way for me to use any of these. But if I were a deranged billionaire, making a shoe that had all of these shoe powers would be really cool. Like the super scroll of shoes. I'd be pretty into that. Like a bouncy, heely, pumpable light up shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Talk the walk.
The Heely. So like kids are able to, like, things got more technological about this. Because now if a kid wants to accomplish moving very slowly without moving any of their body, they just get a hoverboard, or like one of those the hoverboard like scooter kind of things. It is hilarious. I live in a cul-de-sac and the kids on my street all have those hoverboards, and it's fucking it's amazing because you just like you go to drive and then there are just a bunch of kids just standing like stock still with their arms at their side on those hoverboards, just moving around. Like NPCs that don't have a walk cycle. It's amazing. Like the only thing that's missing is them T-posing. just no joy on their face, just going around in lazy swirls like Galaga enemies.
Have you seen those shoes that they invented that have a people mover on the bottom of them? So the idea with these shoes is when you walk, it kind of glides you forward as well. So you can walk as fast as an incredibly light jog.
No, I've not seen these. When you say people mover, is like a conveyor belt?
It's got conveyor belt technology on the bottom of them.
Okay.
So you can kind of scoot forward as you walk. Like, how when you walk on a people mover, how you're still walking, but you have that feeling of moving very fast.
Yeah.
It's that in a shoe.
So these are, it's basically just rollerblades.
Slow rollerblades with less balance required. Because it's just the bottom of the shoe.
If the wheels were
this
like
is the next
cylinders.
evolution of these.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is.
This is the next evolution in cool shoe tech, but it hasn't caught on yet.
Rollerblades 2, Beyond the Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know. They're doing cool things with shoes. My shoes don't do shit, and I hate it.
No, my shoes pretty much just they pretty much just protect my feet.
Yeah. And even then, they're not great at it.
No.
Like
I did a search for novelty shoes to see if there were other ones. I know of at least one other one, but like you look up novelty shoes and it's just like gladiator shoes, that kind of shit. Or it is goofy slippers. Here's a shoe that looks like that it just looks like you're barefoot, which is a real uncle kind of joke. Yeah,
I'm not looking for aesthetics. I'm looking for powers. Like I'm looking to augment my abilities.
Yeah.
I already have the ability to wear clothes.
The only one of those I will possibly brook is the Taz slipper.
Okay. Yeah, like a classic slipper.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a Taz slipper where Taz is eating your foot like he would.
There are other inflatable shoes that people have made kind of as a joke.
Okay.
That I found through this. that have various, like these are art pieces. I'm gonna send you a link. So they don't really count for our purposes, but they are going in the right direction.
Okay.
I think. Here, let me pop this into the Slack. So like several of these are obviously jokes, but some of these do have powers. It kind of looks like some of these would be able to walk on water.
Oh.
And one of them scrubs your floor.
See, I've seen floor scrubber ones like that. Like that is an actual ass thing that exists, along with lawn aeration shoes, which are shoes, with those big spikes where you walk around. That
they don't let you use that no more.
They called it the Stinga. Yeah. No, these are good. I like this. It's just shoes that are just a big collection of garbage.
Yeah, give me some garbage shoes that will do something for me.
Yeah. There are two other novelty shoes that give you powers. There are the soaps. I've talked about the soaps, the shoes you could grind with.
Sure.
Yeah. Have the plastic plate on the bottom. And then there are the shoes with goldfish in them, which I was very disappointed to learn. They're rubber goldfish. They're not alive. So you're not torturing an animal.
You're very disappointed to learn that.
Yeah.
And that they still not a power though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to be able to enhance my abilities.
Yeah.
With the shoe.
I'm doing a search. Like I just did a search for shoes that give you powers, and it's just all the stuff that we talked about.
Yeah, I guess drywall stilts count as this.
Yeah. Drywall stilts would be fun. Yeah,
that counts. That's a shoe that gives you powers. You know, I even just one that has a doodad. Like the pump thing is almost like a fidget spinner or something like that.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't, even if it was just purely vestigial, I wouldn't mind having a pump on my shoes now.
Yeah.
Oh. Get some Reebok pumps.
Yeah.
I bet you they're very expensive now.
I bet you I bet since the technology has been perfected for 30 years, 35, I think that it would, I think that it might be deprecated. I think that actually it's just built into all shoes that we have and we don't even notice.
You would think that, but then in 2014, they brought it back with a bunch of X collaborations.
Okay.
So like, it's all these brands I've never heard of, X Reeboks.
Okay.
25th anniversary. So these are probably like collectible shoes. The Foot Patrol X Reebok Pump Goat. Things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. The crossover X Reebok Insta Pump Fury.
The thing that was the problem with the light up shoes is that they depended on the rubber being transparent. So all it took was like a week of playing on the playground in the gravel and the dirt for them to basically just be little muddy headlights. Yeah.
It wasn't useful light.
No.
It could be.
Yeah.
Like see in the dark. I don't know. This is what turns me into Data from the Goonies.
Okay.
I'm gonna start inventing things by gluing things together and having some utility.
You might reinvent the shoe. You might you might actually get us rocket boots in our lifetime.
Yeah, I would like that. I would like that. It's a fun way to die.
We had a week off. You moved.
We did. I'm in a cavern now.
Yeah.
I moved to a cave. I live in the cave.
You live in the cave now. It's just the room is not full of enough stuff. So yet there will be stuff going into the room. So
right now it's just my desk though.
There's probably going to be like a little bit of a span on some of the shows where things are echoey.
Yeah, I'm going to try to work on it a little bit tonight, but it's also we got tons of stuff to do.
Yeah,
so it's tricky. But yeah, we've been off for a week.
Yeah, I did something. I never do anything, but I did something.
You did something.
I did.
You're bringing a story. You're finally doing your part to bring stories to the show. Thank fucking God.
You've never made me feel bad about it. I have felt bad about it.
It's because I'm a big man.
Okay.
It's because of my largesse.
I appreciate it. It's really it's really grandiose of you to do that.
Thank you.
No, I went to my first Renaissance Festival.
Yeah. You told me. You alluded to that. I'm excited to hear about it because a Renaissance Festival is cool to me.
Yeah. So I went to the Renaissance Festival that's in Waynesville, Ohio. It's like if you just do a search for like Ohio Renaissance Festival, it like runs the whole summer. I went there with some folks from the level. So Dennis and Moxie, and Dennis's 3 sons. I believe it was their first Renaissance Festival as well. So I got to see the shows that they did through the kids' eyes, which was neat. So like the shows themselves were fun. It was like a bunch of like acrobatics, and there's some pyrotechnic stuff in there. Like we had the guy who did the Wheel of Death thing.
Wheel of Death is fun.
Wheel of Death. Like I was convinced that the guy was going to die. Like I know that's the act. I know that's the entirety of the act, which is you think this person is going to die doing this horrible thing with this steel contraption, and then he doesn't. But it was literally like, oh, I held my breath when he was doing the running on the outside of the thing as it spun around kind of thing.
It's really impressive to see.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I'm looking at the website for this.
Okay.
Ohio Renaissance Festival, and there are themed weekends coming up.
Yes.
Including what seems like it would be, to me, perhaps the most annoying weekend, which is this upcoming weekend, which is Time Travelers Weekend.
Yeah, I'm glad we avoided the Time Travelers Weekend.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of steampunk. And a lot of people dressing up as Star Trek.
Yeah, which is that's a classic bit anyway. Like they were making jokes about that on King of the Hill in like 1998.
Yes.
Yeah.
That episode's a fucking banger, though.
So yeah,
good. That's the
Alan Rickman,
the propane dragon. Yeah.
I'm gonna lose my fare.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like that joke.
No,
going into somebody else's space to show how clever you are.
Yeah, no.
That sucks.
The weekend that we went. It was poised to be very annoying. It was Pirate Weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I can't see past weekends in here. I can only see upcoming weekends.
Okay. Very future oriented, this Renaissance Festival. Yes. And I never thought the Talk Like a Pirate thing was funny. Never liked the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Ninjas versus Pirates never really did it for me.
Pirates aren't cool.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Nobody was walking around in character as a pirate. Basically, what I got to see was a bunch of girls dressed up as pirates or elves or pirate elves, and that was fine.
Yeah.
I was fine with that.
They have a mud show here, which I did not realize. Did you see the mud show?
I did. It was the first thing we did. I didn't know what a mud show was. I probably should have put it together from the constituent parts of that phrase.
Yeah, if you know what the individual words mean.
Yeah, no. But I showed up late, and Dennis said, "Hey, we're at the mud show. It's over here at this end of the thing." I say, "All right, cool." I showed up. And they were sitting up close to the front. And I was like, okay, well, what is this? And okay, so there's mud. It wasn't until the first splash that I realized, oh, okay, like this is an audience. This is a Gallagher thing.
It's a kind of a dirt Gallagher.
Yeah, it's a dirt Gallagher. I was not aware of the grand tradition of mud shows.
I thought most of my life, and I learned this a few years ago. But I went to a Renaissance fair with I had wealthy cousins. I had an aunt and uncle who had money. I've mentioned that before. So I grew up with very little money. But every once in a while, I get to go do something because I would hang out with my cousin Tony. And one of the things we went to was a Renaissance fair. And we went to the mud show there, and I thought it was a bespoke thing. Like this Renaissance fair in Illinois was the mud show. Mm-hmm. I didn't know it was at every Renaissance fair. It's two guys kind of cavorting in mud and making jokes and splashing a lot.
Yeah, a lot of shit jokes, a lot of genital jokes, even for a thing that is very coded for kids. Yeah.
Yes. And splashing around in mud. And I remember as a kid really liking it. Like it was coded for kids. I was like, oh, look at these guys running around in the mud.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. And then it wasn't until I met Liv that I found out mud show was a general thing.
It's like a circus
as I've mentioned before.
Yeah.
It's a circus thing. She grew up in run fairs. Yeah. Her dad made flutes. So, my wife is part run fair. So I got a lot of inside knowledge about this kind of shit.
Yeah. The young kids, Dennis's sons, his 3 sons, were not as into the splashing either. They immediately got up and went back a few rows.
This calendar cut. Sorry, I'm looking at the calendar to see what they have available, and this thing is cut off. And it's the name of the thing is Oops Comedy Knife Throwing, but it looks like an event just called Oops Comedy Knife. And I'm pretty into Oops Comedy Knife as a show.
So, I mean, it sounds like a Joker thing, obviously, right?
Yeah. Oops Comedy Knife. Ooh, Filthy Irish Stories. There we go.
Yeah.
At the rabbit's hole stage.
Yeah. The thing that I liked about the Mud Show, so they have a bunch of individual like bespoke shows, and it's 3 of the most like theater guys possible.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But the one that we saw, so it's like retellings of like classical tales. The one that we saw was Beowulf, and that was fun to see them adapt that. Yeah.
Yeah, like a muddy Beowulf.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I can get down with that.
We then saw, oh God, what I need to do a search on this. It's like the fireflies, so kamikaze fireflies was the thing. These
sensitive,
very sensitive. Yeah, it was kind of like acrobatic tricks.
Oh,
it was
flaming hoops.
Yeah, flaming hoops, like climbing up the big tower with the cables coming down it, lighting on fire, and juggling while balanced on top of it, kind of deal. Mm-hmm. Wasn't very like professional. As far as like the showmanship goes, it was just kind of like, and now we're going to show you this. There was like, it wasn't especially a lot of patter. It was kind of right down to business.
One of the things that I find fascinating about Renaissance fairs or any kind of standing performance thing is they all end up a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Cause they do it every day. Like if you're doing a fire hula hoop every day, like it's got to get a little boring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they kind of become just about the thing.
Yeah.
I kind of dig it. Like there's not, you don't get a lot of the, I can't hear you bullshit.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, we all know why we're here. Cool.
Yeah. What else I'm looking at the schedule here. What else did you see?
We took a break for food. And I managed to get I got a turkey leg.
Sure.
I didn't realize that they were smoked. That they were smoked and incredibly dry.
Yeah, they're not. It's a dry meal that's not very seasoned.
I
hate the turkey leg.
Yeah,
like it's the traditional food, but it doesn't taste very good.
No,
it's just a big piece of bland meat.
Yeah, so exactly. I was a little bit disappointed. It also was like 95 degrees out.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Which by the end of it, I was so hot that I was getting chills.
So you were dying. Like,
my heart rate was like 210.
Yeah. You were in the wheel of death.
Yeah. I was the wheel of death. Yeah. So it was very, throwing a bunch of salted meat on top of that was wise as far as decisions go. Then we shopped. Everything was super expensive. If you wanted to buy like a $15 potion bottle, you could. It was expensive even compared to like, like RP stuff that you see at tabletop or video game shows, you know?
Yeah. You want to buy a pewter dagger, it's like $40.
Buy a $180 staff.
Yes.
It was more fun to admire the craftsmanship on set items. Couldn't imagine buying one, but like it's a permanent installation at the Ohio Renaissance Festival. So it's not like a tent setup thing. So, if you look at pictures of this, like the shops are set up in buildings, like wooden buildings and stalls and stuff like that. It kind of looks a little bit ye olde village-esque.
It looks sick.
Yeah.
Like I would love to go to this thing.
Yeah.
Like there's too much stuff to do in one day.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pick out your schedule.
Yeah.
For this, but like I'm seeing multiple things I would enjoy looking at in this.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch a knife show. I'll watch Equestrian Chaos at the Guinness Arena of Champions.
Equestrian Chaos.
Yeah. Did you see the falconry? You see the Birds of Prey exhibit?
No, I did not see the falconry.
A bummer.
Yeah. No, it would have been fun to see that. Didn't see the jousting either. We had to cut out in the middle of the afternoon, because I was dying.
Because you were dying, sure. You're dehydrated to a degree that
I didn't want to go home in an ambulance or a hearse.
Yes.
And Dennis's kids had a music recital they had to get to. Yeah. So
one of the funnier things about these kind of things is there are a bunch of people who are like storytellers. who just tell dirty stories.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And there's like a whole pub for it, like having like bawdy ladies. There's the washerwomen's well, which is where the washerwomen hang out and talk about dicks.
Oh,
is my understanding. And this is even different than the Rabbit's Hole stage with filthy Irish stories.
All of that just reads to me like the I think you should leave about the dirty limericks guy.
It's very it's real similar to that.
Yeah.
And they do turn their backs so you can masturbate to the washing wenches.
To listen to what they say.
The washing well wenches are for all ages. They're a bit bawdy, a whole lot of brazen, and they love to pull you into their show.
Oh,
what a fucking nightmare.
Nope. Oh no. Sorry, ladies.
Yeah. Bettina Baudeville.
Huh.
Yeah.
The Naughty Body Pub Show.
Yeah. I like Robert the Bard with 3 R's. I don't know what's going on with that.
No.
Yeah. A lot of pirate stuff going on, even outside of Pirate Day. There's a pirate stunt show.
Yeah.
Yeah. This looks like good, wholesome fun. I would love to go to this thing. There's the Cincinnati Barbarians.
Yeah. They just.
Who the fuck are the Cincinnati Barbarians?
The Cincinnati Barbarians. I saw that too because I was like, well, what's Cincinnati's representation here? It's a group of people who dress up in full plate armor and fight with weapons.
Yeah. Hit each other with axes.
Yeah.
God, what a world we would live in if everything was just like this. Like, I would love to live. Sometimes I get very envious of like Joe Para life.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. Yeah. And just kind of like, it's the weekend. What are we going to do? And it's like, well, let's go to the Renaissance Fair. And just having a new thing like that.
Yeah.
Every weekend and going and doing a thing. I know that that's very achievable. It just doesn't feel like it is because of various brain problems.
Right. It's only brain problems standing between us and a very Stardew-like life. Right.
Exactly. That's the very tragic and succinct way to put it. But I'd really, really like it. Like, I want to go, I'll see Ebenezer Grumpy Puss. Ebenezer Grumpy Pants, who, if you look at him, he's got a fucking orc. He's fake orc. I didn't know that there were demi-humans in this. Did you know that there were demi-humans? Ebenezer Grumpy Pants is an orc.
I told you about the scantily clad elf women. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's true. I thought those were like fans. I didn't think they were part of the... Oh, that people were doing cosplay.
No, yeah, no. The ones that I saw were doing cosplay. I didn't see them as part of the show.
Mooney the Magnificent, an immersive silent comedy experience using whistles and gestures. Mooney brings the audience in and puts everyone in stitches. Add to the comedy. That's one sentence. Add to the comedy. Mooney's memorizing, balancing, and juggling skills will create an enjoyable, family-friendly show.
Yeah.
And he never talks.
We're going to go crazy in there. Yeah. Gary, I just shared with you the the video that they used to promote the Cincinnati Barbarians, the night fights. Okay. It is far less exciting than you think. I don't picture as many clinches in night fighting as this.
Clinches?
Yeah. In this video, a lot of the fights just kind of like boil down to them hugging and trying to bring each other down against the railing.
Like wrestling? Oh, yeah. I guess they are kind of hockey fighting.
Yeah.
In this. 95 degrees in that shit. I like the guy who's next to him with there's 2 guys with sticks who hold them apart, who kind of poke them when they get they hug too much. This is very sweet.
I also like the patriotic knight who has a cloak that has sleeves that are American flags.
That's hilarious. The intimacy coordinators, the guys with the sticks who stop them from fucking. I would like that job for the Cincinnati Barbarians.
Just the guy who carries the bucket of water.
Break it up. Yeah, who just throws it on the stray cats.
Yeah, the hoseman.
Lift up the knight's tail and get to business.
Bring in the chiefs to stop them from making squires.
They keep falling down. At a minute and 11 seconds into this video, there's just a pile of like 4 of these dudes.
Exhausted.
Lying on their back, struggling to breathe and hit each other with stuff. It's very good.
The audience is very not entertained.
This is incredible. I still would love to see this.
God, yeah.
Like, we just recorded the Dispatch. And somebody was like, you guys should take a sabbatical. That makes me nervous too. But if we put aside some money, and I'm saying like a bit of money every year, got a good budget for this, and took a month of recording on location at shit like this.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really fun idea.
That is a really fun idea.
Duckfeed just gets taken over for a month. Like the Age of Apocalypse. Like, instead of your regular X-Men, you just get these shows. And one of them is like Renaissance Fair. Live, and then the hotel room afterwards talking about shit we did, jokes and stuff. And then another one's like a museum. And then one of them, we go see an adaptation to gay movie.
Yeah.
We go play shuffleboard and talk about it as a game. Yeah. It's a good idea.
That's a really good idea. I don't know if there's an audience for it, but it's a good idea.
Yeah. I like to think our audience would follow us, but I never know.
Yeah, you never know.
It only takes one time they don't do it, and then we're fucked. So
and then we're fucked.
And I have a mortgage now. If I can't pay for this cave, I'm going to...
If you can't pay for that cave, they're going to seal it up.
Yeah, I know. They're going to Amontillado my ass.
Yeah, they're going to cap your well.
Yeah. I'll deserve it too. I got to go to a Renaissance Fair. We were going to go a couple years ago, but we got there and they turned us away because they oversold tickets.
Oh no!
Yeah, but we're going to go, and we're going to go this year. But then house stuff, so we didn't do anything this year. Really, we're going to go next year. I think is the plan. Excited, and hopefully this one goes through October, so you could go when the weather's not bad.
You could, yeah. I didn't expect like the middle of September to still be that hot.
No. Yeah, it was super hot yesterday, and it makes no sense. Yeah, stupid.
No, and it went from like
the rest of our life.
It went from just boiling summer to like shitty wet fall, like not fun to be outside for a prolonged time, like just immediately. So, Gary, there's an event called Hexen with 2 X's.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's music. Diaspora folk music centered around a magical, with a K, collective of musicians. Neo-folk, experimental folk.
Kill me.
Not with your ears.
Yeah, not like, unless it was for content though.
Yeah.
If somebody wanted it, I bet you we could make hay out of that.
You know what? When we
Donald and Arn's Carnival of Heartbreak, no description.
Gary, when we were eating our turkey legs in the kind of one of the dining areas, there was a person who was fucking rip-roaring, shredding on the dulcimer.
Yeah. Love that shit.
Real music to play D&D 2 kind of vibes.
Tavern music.
Yeah.
Like music that you download for free. Like the kind of music you don't pay for is what we call all the music in these things. Like nobody's paying for any of these troubadours.
Yeah. Lo-fi mead beats to get Quest 2.
What can people do if they like this show?
If you like this show, you can go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. There you can get 2 extra episodes of this show per month just for you. We make them just for each individual. It is consuming. No, it's just 2 for everybody. Yes. But that gets you a bunch of bonus content, supports us, make sure Gary doesn't get Amontillato'd in. Doesn't get sealed up like the elephant's foot.
I had to pay for this tomb.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's one thing they can do. What else can they do?
Ratings, reviews on Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict are appreciated. Your patience while I get this audio sorted out. Appreciate it. And joining us and thanking our producer, Gwen. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Gwen. We do appreciate you. And until next time, this has been Abject Suffering, where the only thing that gets us up in the morning is the fact that Jose Canseco has lost his mind.